Is it too loud or is it okay? Okay. Cool. Okay. Let's get started. Am I audible? Okay, cool. Thanks. So, graphical user interface GUI using Python. Not just graphical. Not just GUI. GUI can be anywhere. We are talking about specific things. Desktop GUI. And desktop GUI, where we want to target all platforms, let's say Mac, Linux, Windows. So, uh, we'll start with TK Inter today. TK Inter is inbuilt uh, Python interface to TCL TK. So it is cross-platform to most of the platforms there, because majority of them, all of them have Python installed, and TK Inter comes pre-installed to all platforms. So you can say if you have an script, it will make it will produce your GUI on any platform. So what is TCL TK? So TCL, yeah, this name. So, so TCL is like it had its limelight during 90s, and it was very popular. It was interpreted language at that time. Uh, so it was mainly used at backends, and TK was its most popular extension. And from TK, Python has made an overwrap over this library or extension and produced TK Inter, and that's the package TK Inter. So what's there in a typical GUI? So it has one or more frames, it has one window, and each frame has a layout manager. So you have some widgets you want to go at places. You will have a layout manager. That's it. Uh, and then there was one more thing, one more extension, TK. So it's styles TK, and it has been very quite famous for its styles and theming widgets collection. So it gives very native look to your widgets. So I'm calling widgets. So widgets are your any widgets are your any GUI element is your widget. That's simple definition. Uh, yeah. So let's go. If you have any doubts, please ask. I don't want to get lost after. My main focus of talk is you are able to implement what I'm demoing here. Right. So let's start with Hello World. How does the Hello World looks? Yeah, by the way, we'll be using Python 3 mainly for this demo. In Python 3, we call the package as tkinter, and so this looks scary, right? I just want a hello world and I have to write so much line of code, but no, it's Pythonic way they call it. I can write this in 4 lines also, but I just choose to show what's a real thing is. So this is object-oriented way to represent a frame and have a button on it which says hello world, click me, and then it will have an event command holder. So if you click a command, what do you get? Command will be triggered, which is linked to a function, and then that function will execute at yourself. So let's run this. We should have, yes, this is hello world. And if you click on this, you have an event there. So let's go to the code. So what is how the event is being triggered? So this is the text only button. Yeah. I can't zoom in actually. I mean it's slides. So okay. Actually, I'll just do simple. So open. Is it visible now? Yeah. Cool. So we first initialize our main window, which we call root. Okay, we initialize using this. So this is declaration, and your script will start at this end. Okay. Then we have app. App is basically a frame. On that frame, you are going to basically call its layout manager and call widgets on it. So here we have initialized it. You have to call back if you want to show it. Then we have create widgets, and in create widget we have two buttons, hello world and quit. So this is how you call the button class of tk inter, and you have to pass the frame you want to attach it. So that's why we have used the self, which is basically tk.frame, which we initialize. So then we what text we want on that, and then so this is short notation. Basically we have hi there, and we want to access it attribute text, and then want to call this. So this is I mean this might look like scary at first time, but we will just simplify after a few steps. So we have command. We want to attach what command to a trigger. Say hi, which is basically this, and then it will print your thing or do anything. And then we have to place it. We are using pack as a layout manager, and we say place it at the top. Then we call another second and do the same thing. So here you will notice that we are using text. We are passing it as an argument. We are not, going in new line every time for a new. So this is just shorthand alternatives. Then we call its foreground as red. Then this command is just single thing. So it will call root.destroy, which is essentially a function. So you get it will go. So the layout manager, or you call it geometry manager, they are essentially same. And so they are used to specify specific position of widgets within their containers. So containers, let's say frame, and for frame it's a window. So container have different meanings. So there are two geometry manager. One is pack, which we just saw, and one is grid. So pack is like you have a widget and you want to just show it. Okay. So it will remember the last position the widget was, or where it was initialized, and then it will just so basically it's a row, and in row it will either go at top, side, uh, both sides, or bottom. So I'll show it again. So we have this, right? So both are currently at, so one is at bottom, one is at top, so they are stacked up. But grid is recommended way. So when you have a complex UI, you want you will use grid to get your specific niche of an placing an element. So grid is like a table in an HTML. So you have rows, columns, okay, and you will specify which row to go on, which column to go on at the same time. So yeah, when to use back, uh, put a widget inside frame. You can let it occupy a whole frame. So if they want, we just want to go on top of each other or side by side. Back example. So this is another example which I'm showing left right thing. So basically two buttons. One is at the top, one is at the bottom, and then there are two labels which are having color as green and red, which are essentially left and right, and they have been expanded as per the book. Actually, button have also been expanded. So buttons have been expanded, but not these. These have been given width and height. So we'll talk about how to give expanding, how to make them expand to your window size. Uh, what's the name? So this is not that scary hello world thing. I just want, so because that hello world was for like you have a lot of frames and then you will have class for each frame and then you will use them. But I just want one frame, so I just have this simple script and I will have my widgets there and I mean it's not complex basically. I'm saying so. So yes. So we have button. We want to attach it to root. I even haven't declared a frame. I mean, you should, but if I don't declare it, your root will be a single frame. You can't do anything on it. So then I want to pack it. So pack it where I want to put it at the top of window and put second button bottom and then fill is basically how much you want it to occupy the screen space. So I have said occupy, let it occupy the x-axis. So this is how you will give various arguments. There are a lot of arguments for any widget class. You just have to find them. So let's see what we have done to the labels. I have, this is you will call label class, and then where you want to attach the property is bg. You can also call it background. It will work as same, but you have a short reference there. Then you call it 10. And then we call back on them. Where do you want to go there? So see, I have used the TK class, how you want to specify its position. I mean, I could just write left also, but I have, I'm just showing what possible. I mean, if you see a code like this is also correct. So there have been very short notations. You can use a string. You can call a class on it, and then you have to call main loop. So this is your blocking loop. Uh, Anything after this won't be executed, and this will start your UI. So anything you want interactivity will be in the UI. So just go to slides. So let's look at another layout manager. We have so this is the recommended way. When things get tough, the pack is not essentially. So pack is like it will have the effect of relative elements on it. So if your top element is occupying more screen and you want it to occupy less screen, then you will have difficulty there. So basically a table layout. So let's have a great example. So this is your grid. You have two labels, two input fields, and two buttons. So anything for a form or some input from user. Any event has not been attached to it right now. So where do we have? So let's see what we have now. So we used master window. We initialize it. So you have to call this thing. Without this, it won't come. And then we want to show the master grid. Then we have text label. And I haven't called to which frame I want to attach it to, because since there is just master, by default every widget is attached to master. I mean your root window. So this is a shorthand notation if you just want to place some items on the screen. So here I have row 00, row 10. So label are at your left hand side. So this is your 00, this is 10. Then we have first entry and row 0, basically this, and column 1, same way. And then we want to place the row at the second. So row are 0 index based, so 0, 1, 2. So your buttons will be at the third row. So column 2 and column 3. That's all. As just as a table layout. So any questions so far? Anyone came late and any questions? Cool. So there is one more warning here. Never mix two layout manager, grid or pack. It will keep compiling and never get out of the loop. So don't use it. So a common mistake is to use wrong parent for some of the widgets. So if you have a frame and you are using pack in it, keep using pack. If you have another frame which you are using grid, keep using grid. So we have been talking widgets, what all widgets we have. So these are the widgets we have in TK itself. So what it doesn't have is web view. You can't display a page into it. That's the limitation right now. But without web view, what you want to do with a GUI application, especially desktop, right? Every major GUI application, I mean builder, we have a web view. But for small projects like you have an OpenCV project, okay? You want to display frames, you want to do some see OpenCV magic, you want to get only the gray, red, or something. So I mean, you don't want to build, you don't want a complex path just to call your functions from the CV backend and then call it on your browser and then you will see. So you can just use OpenCV for this and tkinter and you can do. So let's say I want to uh, just on time. So let me show you an OpenCV example. So my OpenCV is currently compiled with Python 2.7. So I will use for this example I will use Python 2. So we have a select image, and on selecting an image, will get this. So I have original image and I have done edge detection on that image. I just want to see how they look, and So if you have multiple algos for your, you can just stack them and then see what looks good, what looks bad. Save what you want to do that. That was an example of OpenCV. So I will go the essential things because I can't cover every widget. I will use random widgets in some of the examples. I will leave some of the widgets also. So sometimes the TTK is there. So TTK has themes, and themes are pretty polished. You can use TTK for it. So we have 17 widgets. Basically, they are overwritten over TK widgets, TK inter widgets. So these are the widgets there. I will give an example of TK widget. So we have progress bar in TTK, and I will show how does a progress bar look like. So this is what a progress bar would look like. So if you are installing a software, you want to show some basically some animation. Yeah. So every GUI has a menu. We will talk about what is there in the menu. So we have an example here. So I have three menus, menu items, and they have basically an option, menu options, something like that. So how do you specify menu widgets? So, menu example. Great. So we have imported all the functions from the tkinter, and then we have imported the ttk module. So we'll just use tk as it is, declare our main window. Then we have a menu, we will use the menu class, and we will tell on which window we want to uh, it act on. Then you have file menu. So a menu would look like this. You want to add commands into it, and what should be the label and what should be the command it execute. Just this. Then you will have a separator there, and one more. And what should be the label of your menu pull down menu basically. So here file. So if basically Cascade adds the label to your menu, uh, pull down menu. So same stuff, different. So tier off doesn't have much effect on. Uh, I mean, if you have toolbar and then if you use tier off, it will help you grab the menu item and then put it into toolbar. It's you won't need it generally. So, for I mean, this is old code. We want to see some demos, nice demos, right? So I mean, what has been a professional app which has been developed in idle? Sorry, in uh, in TK Inter. So idle is like has been developed in TK Inter fully, no code from out. So we have idle. Yes. So everything is all in TTK. So we are using 2.7, so it has different name here. We will import. Okay. I mean, this open idle for 2.7. So important. I mean, let's see what are the possibilities here. So we have tabs. We can put tabs there. Go to file. Cover. We have, I mean, all the major things which you generally find in an editor. I mean, it's also looks quite polished. I mean, it's not bad for a school child. He won't get to know what exactly is the polished version. So this is U1. I mean, this is tree view, and they have used, so they call it tree view, and they have used TTK for it. Yeah. So let's get to demo. Okay. So that was menu that is described. So we want events and bindings, right? So we want to have shortcut keys for our GUI, and we want to have bindings for keys and mouse events. So this is what a simple key event looks like. Key event binded to a callback. Okay. So there are no widgets currently on this. This is just where you are clicking in the widget. Just so basically we have a mouse event and we have a key event. and we are just showing what are the position of the mouse and what keys are being pressed on the keyboard. So if you detect Control S, then you will save the file. If you do Control Q, it will exit it. So let's see at the bind method. So you have to specify your keys like this. I mean, this is generic key. So uh, if you want any key, let's say you want a key to be binded, you just specify this and it will bind a specific key. Button one is, so these buttons are like a touchpad plus your three button mouse. So button one is your left one, then there is button two, which is middle, and button three is the right one. So for touchpad, it's left thing. So then you have a callback for every bind event, and then callback will be executed. So for 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 a key to work, you have to focus. You have to bring the frame in focus on which you are capturing the keys. Then only it will be triggered. Then we have a protocol. So protocol is, I mean, it's an event, but it's binded on the root window. So if you want to detect what's happening on the root window, so we have if you are clicking the close thing, it will show what is. So this is the identifier, what is going happening, and then this is the callback, what you want. So suppose you want to stop a person from exiting because he hasn't saved his form or whatever. Then we'll go here. Yeah. It will give you a dialog box. So and we'll close it. Let's come to dialog boxes we just saw. So the one we saw was yes, okay, cancel, ask, okay, cancel. So we have dialog boxes for different level. So if you want to just show info without any so the info, these are graphics. You will see info as marked as triangle and then exclamation mark. Morning will have that thing. So then you have ask question, okay, cancel, we just saw. So I will just show one more for dialog box. Just show input alert. This is our show input alert. No, there is no window dialog. So just simple dialog boxes, nothing fancy. Then we have a find handler which I just showed on the OpenCV. We have a find handler. So I'll go through that code. So unique TK, unique import TK file dialog. So this is actually, so OpenCV, since I have compiled it with Python 2.7, so this is Python 2.7 code. Otherwise, they have basically they have done some renaming in Python 3. They have, so you just need. There is no technical concept difference between Python 3 TK enter and Python 2. So if it had been Python 3, you would be calling everything from the tkinter. So everything is in tkinter. And then they call it from tkinter file dialog. That's all. Okay, 5 more minutes. So then what we have? So uh, you ask for a, so basically the file dialog will return you a path, and then you can use that path to feed or show anything. So you can actually draw graphs into tkinter also. So matplotlib has tk support, so you can use canvas widget to draw plots on it. I'll show how to draw that. Yeah. Oh, I think I just deleted the file. Actually, I moved it to different example. So we have a this is multi-frame example. So we have a plot. I'm just showing this plot from a CSV file, which is this file, and this is live thing. This is live loading the CSV in a specific interval, and then it is updating the graph. So let's save the file, and then we see the update thing. So this has good. These are all inbuilt. There is nothing. So I'm using ggplot theme for this, and that's why it's looking good. I will go through the code for it. So we are using TKAGG, so which enables it to bind with TK. So you have to use this here. If you don't use it here, you will get an error that Python 3 backend is something missing, which is absolutely hilarious because I'm running using Python only. So let's see what we do. We have just 2 minutes. So what is important here? How I am live updating the graph, right? So this is all the things here. I'm calling the animation function here, and which has the animate animation as a animation class actually. So which takes an plot on which to draw, and then which method to call, and the interval on frequency you want to watch. So then I read the CSV and I just plot it, and then it's called every. So this is in milliseconds, so it will call it 1.5 seconds. So from this, I mean, this is your matplotlib live updates OpenCV example. So I'll just go through multi-frame. I mean, so this example is using multi-frame. So I mean multi-pages, right? So each frame is different here. So I have, this is second frame, this is third frame, and then there is a start frame. So what I'm doing, so I have main window in it, and main window is sorry. Yeah, this is not the main window. So this is the root window. Yes, this is main window, but this is the first frame. So this is the first frame. You initialize. So this is we come here from the start, right? So we were seeing hello world and it was looking scary. Oops. So this is how you will use that that concept. So we have start page, we have page 1, page 2. On page 2 we are drawing our we have macquarie clip and it has canvas and we initialize canvas there and then it has one button. So and this has label. So how do you use the frames? How do you switch from the frame, right? So I have my main window here, and when I initialize, I put every frame here, okay, and I have this in a dictionary, and then I call show frame, which will basically say which page to call on. So show frame will be called from the other frames, and which is binded. I mean, which controller is basically your main window. So from controller you basically raise it. So everything is up and below on each other. You just raise whichever you want to do. So yeah, there are. So it's not the best. Tiki Internet is not the best. There are very professional apps like PyQt, like PySites, which is essentially LGPL version of PyQt. There is WX Python, which is recently gaining traction. So I just want to tell that if you are going for professional GUI creators, so one is PyQt, right? It is under GPL license, so you can't use if your code is not open source. For that purpose, we have PySites. PySites comes under LGPL. You can use it for proprietary. Yes, you can use it for proprietary software. You don't need a license. I mean, you don't need to open source. So it's just a port of PyQt with different license. So use it if you want to it. And next time I'm thinking of giving the PyQt talk. So it has a bit of learning curve. So can't be just squish both presentation in one presentation. Thanks. Questions? Yes.
Is there any library for touch screens? Do you know of any library in Python for user interface for touch screen?
Touch screens. I mean, so your mouse is basically your touch, right?
No, I know that, but this is designed to work with the desktop, right? The small buttons and stuff.
Right.
Like I'm asking if you know of any library that's built from the ground up for touch screens.
I haven't come across, but I mean, for desktops, like you want it to be compatible with the touchscreen and the desktop, right? So this is compatible, but if you use PyQt, then your main question is like it has small buttons. So I mean, you can increase the button sizes, and that's it's not a problem. So then you can use it for touchscreen also. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Is this desktop GUI, is it like typical WinForm or maybe it might be a very is it like a typical WinForm kind of it or is it web-based?
So I haven't come across WinForm. What do you mean?
Windows forms or
Ordinary Windows,
ordinary Windows form or normal
So
app-based one?
yes, it's very basic. Nothing.
Desktop application or web-based application?
It's a desktop application, totally desktop. It uses native API calls and it which has basically your every desktop has TCL/TK, and it calls those APIs calls to TCL/TK from Python. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.